Ben is sleeping and looks like he is having a nightmare, but awakens and looks at his curtain, to see a strange shadow. When he pulls the curtains apart, nothing is there, and he goes back to sleep. But when he awakes again, he finds Victor Volatus standing before him. Victor says that he has come because of what Ben wanted to do to his daughter, Elena Volatus. When Victor attacks with tentacles, Ben transforms into Humungosaur, only to find that he is very small. Victor picks up Humungosaur, who says that he didn't want to harm Elena. This only makes Victor angrier and the whole scene transforms into a swirl, with Humungosaur being thrown into nothingness, but Ben wakes and realizes that it was just a dream. After returning from the bathroom, Ben opens the curtains and sees Volatus again, this time for real, and transforms into Cannonbolt to fight. When Volatus overpowers him, Cannonbolt transforms into Goop to escape his clutches, but Volatus transforms into a swarm of nanochips and escapes into the sewer. After Goop transforms back into normal, Ben picks up one of the nanochips that was left behind. Ben explains the dream and Volatus's attack to Gwen and Kevin, where they don't believe him, until he shows them the nanochip sample he obtained, and they decide to go to Volatus's old laboratory to investigate. But when they enter, with Ben transforming into Terra Spin, they only find a janitor, who was working with Volatus on a few experiments before he recently died. Kevin questions the janitor, finding it strange and coincidental that Volatus would suddenly die for almost no reason. The janitor just says anyone can die. Anytime. The group decides to go to Elena Volatus for help and go to the Plumbers Academy to find her, but it is revealed that she left after her father's death and took up his research. They meet Elena at her lab where she has been working on the nanochips and learn that she applied a force field to prevent her nanochip samples from escaping and that the nanochip Ben has is not hers. They thank her for her help and leave. While at Burger Shack, Gwen and Kevin discuss the familiar relationship between Ben and Elena, but then they are attacked by Victor Volatus. Ben is at his house, doing homework, when he finds Julie at his door. Ben arranges a date for the next day and Julie accepts and he goes to meet Gwen and Kevin. However, they are fighting Volatus and Ben transforms into Water Hazard and attacks him, but Volatus quickly leaves, changing into nanochips again. The trio are concerned by his status of either being alive or dead, and they visit his grave to see if he truly is dead. Gwen uses her powers and confirms Volatus' body is buried there, meaning that the Volatus that attacked Gwen and Kevin was really a clone. Elena encounters them at the cemetery and states that she decided her relationship with her friends was more important than nanochip research. While discussing matters at Mr. Smoothie, Gwen and Kevin realize that they are targets for the nanochips while Ben isn't, thinking that Elena is behind the attacks, but go back to her father's old lab and find the janitor again, thinking him to be a part of the catastrophe. However, the janitor gives only more clues to Elena's seeming involvement in the nanochip attack. She refers to herself as we and us, much like the possessed Victor. When Julie shows up at Burger Shack for her date with Ben, she is attacked by a swarm of nanochips. Ben arrives at Burger Shack only to find Julie missing and another nanochip left behind. He goes back to Elena's lab and accuses her of being involved in Julie's kidnapping, but Elena protests that she had nothing to do with it and admitted that the nanochips Ben showed to her were actually hers. But Elena really did kidnap Julie because she has her bound and gagged in a storage closet. As Ben calms down, he hears Julie's cries for help, while Elena tries to dismiss him and reveals herself as the true queen of the nanochips, her body now partially made of the chips, meaning that the queen inside Victor during Alien Swarm was a decoy. Ben urges Elena to fight the chips' influence, but Elena says that they are her and she is them. She also says that she can now give Ben anything he wishes, such as a copy of his car, and more. This implies that Elena's feelings for Ben have become an obsession and that she wants him for herself, explaining why she captured Julie and why her Victor clones attacked Kevin and Gwen. They were the only ones between her and Ben. Ben goes to free Julie, but Elena blocks his path with another copy of Victor, forcing him to transform into Armadillo. Gwen and Kevin arrive, and Elena produces 3 more copies of Victor to fight them. Armadillo and frees Julie before fighting the Victor clones. When Armadillo says that he must stop her, Elena covers him with nanochips, making it hard for him to breathe, and Julie tries to convince Elena that she would not really want this. Elena is swayed by Julie's argument and walks into the force field, which destroys her nanochip-created self. Along with the Victor clones, and Armadillo is released from the nanochip's grasp. Julie comforts Ben, saying the nanochips killed Elena a long time ago. Ben, feeling remorseful, felt that there was enough of his friend left in the Queen to sacrifice herself to save them, then he could have saved Elena's life. As they all leave for home, the nanochips are revealed to still have some life in them.